Yo, Tractor Row. How you doing?
Hey, what up?
So I have a couple questions for you. You ready to answer? Do we need to
Best I
take a break?
can. What's the questions?
Question is, can you give me a short recaps of your first 9 days on the trail?
Oh, my first 9 days, amazing. I mean, it was awesome. I mean, even the rain, the freezing cold, what we had to do to pitch up our tents and get in our tents right away to get heated up and stuff like that because your fingers were just numb. All that, the climb out of Hauser Creek, tough, especially with about 45 pounds of unnecessary weight that we had. But we did it. It was tough. Ebbets Pass, going down when it was raining and storming and going halfway down a mudslide, it seemed like that was crazy. But, we did it. We came back up and continued on the trail for another mile and a quarter. Uh, to find a nice spot so we could hold up for the rain. That was awesome. The views, the vistas was beautiful. I mean, I don't even have words to describe it in person. It was just amazing and beautiful, and all I could say is, well, in my vocabulary, majestic for me. Yeah, everything was just awesome. So, Hector, uh, let me know. Tell me what you thought, what you thought was probably the your most favorite part of the trail. Like uh, anything, any part of the 80 miles that we trekked it.
Well, so when we go hiking locally, it's always go out to this place and come back. Um, so you get familiar with your surroundings and you're always landing right back at home base. The excitement was waking up and going, what's next? What's happening? What are we going to run into? What are we going to see? And then actually seeing a bunch of different landscapes, microclimates, um, things of that nature. It was just that to me was probably the most exciting part of the PCT. So tell me your most memorable moment of the PCT.
Uh, I would say probably probably when we were hiking through the Rocky Canyon area. They had all the rock formations. I think you got it on film or on video. Uh, yeah, just the different jagged edges, like it seemed like the earth just came crashing through. Like something like that. Like I said, I wish I could describe it a lot better, but that part was really cool. I like that part. The other part was coming down the mountain, of the coming into what is it, Scissor Crossing, coming down off that little stretch coming down. That was pretty awesome. You had some amazing wide open space views that you were just right on top of it. The clouds, you could seem like you could just reach up and grab the clouds because that's how we felt, like we were so close to them. Yeah, just yeah, the openness is the best thing. My most memorable was from when we left the southern terminus. We just kept going, and it was like, you know open. With our first campsite, we thought we were cool. We were 8 miles into it, I believe, and we set up camp. It was awesome. We cooked our first camp dinner. That's when Hector went over down to the creek, got us some water. First time filtering water. That was awesome. There was a lot of firsts too. I guess uh, uh, that's the memorable part too. Is the first. Everything was the first thing. Like filtering our water. We never done that before. We did that. We survived it without anything too bad. but we didn't get sick. We didn't get no runs or nothing like that. So I call that a win. Uh, yeah, our first time, uh, well, for me anyway, digging cat holes and adjusting to that thing, that was that was my first, and so got through that. I feel like I'm a champ. Yeah, you know. Uh, First time bouncing stuff forward. You know, first time getting into a wind rainstorm. That was awesome. That was survival. That was first time surviving. Because if we didn't get off our wet clothes like that and get into some dry clothes and get our shelter up, oh my God, I couldn't imagine. Couldn't imagine. I would we would have went home without any orders, shelter in place orders. If we would head in during another night of that and not able to get dry, that was the first. That was
So,
survival.
so what you're saying is we're wimps.
No, it's just we're learning
Yes,
how to.
yes. Because I think you're right. We would have.
We would have learned. We would have learned to adapt. We know now going on trail we need better rain gear system. We needed better drying clothes, I guess, and a little more of it. Strategy is a good thing that we learned. Because we didn't need to have. Well, our strategy was to carry everything, and people said to bounce the stuff forward, but it turns out that our strategy would have saved our lives according to the weather they're having right now. you know so
Right.
that's who knows. We don't never know. We shipped it forward, and we probably would have needed it when we got to Mount Jacinto, but yeah. So Hector, tell me, if and when you do it again, what would you do differently, knowing the experience that you've experienced the first time around, and we're gonna do it again, possibly in May.
Um, wow. I guess try to figure out how to lighten up the gear that I have, and one more change of clothes. I think the frightening thing was not being able to get into dry clothes 2 days in a row if you got caught in bad weather. Um, that that would probably be one of the things that I would do, is take more clothes. Um, I am contemplating getting a lighter backpack itself. I love the backpack; it's great, but it does come in almost at 5 pounds, if not 5 pounds. And you know, if I can get one that is 2.5 pounds, something like that, I save me just a little bit more weight. And when we sent our bear bags home and got rid of the about 6-7 pounds of weight, it was so much easier to just at least for me, to go across that terrain. And the terrain was tough. There's a lot of rocks, definitely uneven. Your legs definitely felt it at the end of the day. Yeah.
So, what's your least favorite memory of or event that happened on the PCT? However you want to take the question.
My least favorite probably would be the first the first night. The first night, it was the worst for me, was because, one, you couldn't get no sleep. You're anticipating to get on the trail. It was like you're there, but you're not there. It's just all that going on in your mind, and for me, it was just like torture. Like I couldn't wait for Friday to come. To come in the morning so we could take off and start our journey. That was probably my least favorite. Although it's all part of it, but I don't like that. I didn't like that part. That would be my least favorite part of the trip. Although everything's good. All right, Hector. If there was a least favorite part of the trail of the PCT that you experienced, what would that be?
Oh, being cold, being wet and cold, and taking a minute to be able to warm up, even after I got into my dry clothes. Uh, that was probably my least favorite thing. Um, and then waiting out the rain that particular day, like you may not realize, but we were in the tent from probably 2, 3 o'clock. Well, yeah, probably right around 2:30 in the afternoon till the next morning, uh, which was what, 7, 8 o'clock. So you're talking about 14, 15 hours there. Uh, just kind of confined to your little sleeping area. You know, I was fortunate. I was doing some editing. I had that to keep me occupied. Um, but if I didn't have electronics or doing that, you know, that'd be hard. Without a book, without something to read, that would be hard. So yeah, that was my least favorite part, is just waiting out the storm, being wet, being cold.
So Hector, so tell me what your thoughts on uh, coming off the trail early.
Ooh, that was a tough decision. Yeah, we were just outside of Julian in the Stagecoach Inn, and we were waiting out the last of that storm. Um, the decision there was, you know, we were just getting out of the tropical storm, and we damn near froze to death. And the next storm coming in was going to bring snow. It was going to be a drop in temperature, and so that had me kind of worried. Um, then the price of the stay, that was another shock. You know, we elected to pay $150 for one of their nicer accommodations, and my understanding is I wouldn't have paid much less, possibly as much, if not more, if I were to stay in Julian. So the thought of having to wait out another 2 or 3 days before we had a good enough window to walk an additional 40 miles to our next town, that was kind of daunting. And then we had the whole scare of the coronavirus. Like, who would have thought? Like, when we were coming into it, 9 days prior, we had heard about it, but you know, it didn't seem that big of a deal. If I remember correctly, Trekker Ralph was a little nervous because he had a little bit of cold symptoms coming over. But by the time we got over, he was totally fine, and so we believe it was nerves. So we got on the trail, regardless. Took us 9 days to get there, and we're looking at it going an additional 30 miles in the rain, sleet, and snow. Yeah, we had decided that it was best for us to wait that out, and then so we did what we had to do to get out of there. Which was basically rent a U-Haul and head on home. And that was interesting in and of itself, because, you know, we got into places and nobody was letting you into the restaurants. Food was already to go only. There wasn't many people on the roads. So for us, that was kind of a shocker. And yeah, so.
How are you feeling since you've been off the trail?
No, it's been rough. It's been tough. You know, you prepare and you dream about that trail, the PCT, for a while, you know. And then we were told to, well, we weren't really told, but it was just what we needed to do is get off the trail, come back to our community, and hold up and be safe. You know, we both had family members here, elderly moms. You know, so it was just one of the right things to do. You know, is to postpone our trail. Kind of feel upset about it, angry, like kind of like cheated out. But you know what? All that, uh, you know, this too shall pass. Uh, we just need to do the right thing. You know, stay social distancing so we're kind of far apart from each other. But we needed to be outside, and it's a beautiful day. Yeah. So I just got like a fruit roll up of different kinds of emotions going on right now, and it's hard to communicate that and tell you exactly how I feel. But yeah, sad, upset that I didn't complete or finish what I wanted to do, but then again, it was, you know, it was out of my control. So just need to learn to let that go, and you know, which I have been adjusting. Haven't shaved yet because, you know, I do want to go back on the trail. Hopefully, you know, when this stuff passes. So other than that, trick it, don't wreck it.